Hey there, hope everyone is doing amazing. So today's video is dedicated to everyone who's subscribed to this channel. We are currently at 1,000 subscribers. Can you imagine that? 1,000 people are subscribed to this channel. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all the comments, the likes, and I don't take anything for granted. I wish I could meet each and every one and just give you a really big hug and say thank you personally. But instead, I got a cake and see, here is it. So thank you. So this is for everyone who subscribed. Thank you so much. I'm super grateful. So yeah, this is the 1K subscribers. Yay. So upload this now. And also, it's also my 1-year anniversary at Google. Like, working at Google, I get to work with some of the most amazing people. I'm also grateful for my growth at Google. Also been challenging, if I'm being honest, but with the challenge comes the growth. My technical skills have definitely improved, like prior to joining to today. So yeah, really looking forward to growing this channel, sharing my experiences with you guys, hearing your feedback, making videos that you guys find useful, and also growing on my end at work and on my life journey. So yeah, thank you so much. Super grateful for you guys coming along with this journey, and yeah, I hope we have fun. So in celebration of 1K subscribers, I would be going through some of the YouTube comments and answering the questions or just responding to the comments. So let's get started. So the first comment is from Valentin, and they say, excellent video. Thank you so much, Valentin. I'm planning to learn data structures and algorithms for the next 4 months. I'm not familiar with them at all. I feel more comfortable with my ML knowledge. Do you know how hard the questions are for intern positions? Thank you. First of all, Valentin, super proud of you that you're planning to start studying data structures and algorithms. You wouldn't regret it. It's such a useful skill to have. And in terms of the difficulty of the question, my advice to you would be to don't focus too much on that. Instead, focus on learning as much as you can about the various data structures and algorithms, understanding the various concepts, the time and space complexities, how and when to use them, and practicing various questions. I feel like when you go down that route instead, no matter the question that you get thrown at, you'll be able to solve it. Aturashe says, great work. Thanks so much. Thank you so much, Aturashe. Keshav says, thanks for sharing. Would love to see a video on a basic level, what kind of work an ML engineer at Google does. So in my role at Google, I work on a cloud team, and we build natural language solutions to process medical texts and extract useful information from those texts. So mostly right now my role involves making our ML models available in production. So that goes from deploying containers to run these models, setting up the servers, writing unit and integration tests to make sure that everything works as intended, performing load testing to make sure that we have the capacity to handle various customer requests, setting up monitoring and alerts. So stuff like that is what I currently do in my role as an ML engineer at Google. But the ML engineer role can look different depending on the team you're on. So I don't think this is a one size fits all for every ML engineer at Google. But right now in my role, this is what I do. I hope that answers your question. Prince Tonia Forever says, thank you so much for sharing your experience and resources. So easy to follow, and it now seems less daunting. Thank you, Prince Tonia. I'm really happy you find the content useful and less daunting. So yeah, it's starting a career in this field. It might seem scary at first because like all the math and like neural networks, they sound complex, but at the end of the day, it's really super simple and it's super fun. And so yeah, my goal on this channel is to try my best as possible to share my experience and explain the various ML and AI concepts in easy to understand ways, and I hope that's useful for you. But 363363 says, great video. Thank you. Sushanta says, very nice and crisp presentation. Thank you, Sushanta. How do you prepare the ML algorithms to write from scratch in Python? Any references or sites which helps? So for the ML algorithms, I found this website called ML from Scratch, and it was written by, I think, a fellow YouTuber too. I think he's a Python engineer. I'll put a link in the description below to his site and probably to his YouTube channel. So yeah, on the website he has various ML algorithms, from like KNNs to logistic regression to perceptrons to naive Bayes, just a bunch of ML algorithms and their implementations in Python. So yeah, really great resource. Highly recommend. Sambot says, hello, I'm a CS grad 2022 Bachelor of Engineering, and I'm interested in ML AI. I have done projects on it as well. Will Google hire me as an ML engineer as I'm a fresher? So congrats, Sambot. So yeah, like in my experience, Google hires, a wide range of engineers, from interns to freshers to more experienced engineers. So I feel like as long as you have the right skills, can pass the interview and have the right attitude, yeah, you should be fine. So yeah, head over to the career website and find a role that matches your interests and your skills, and yeah, go on from there. And I wish you the best. Chaotic Gamer says, great video, but the probability and statistics link takes me to a weird Google Doc. Can you please fix this link? Thanks. Yeah, sure, I will look into that and I'll fix the link. Thanks for pointing that out. Zahra says, should we expect coding for the ML interview? Yes, definitely, Zahra. You should expect coding in the ML interview. So, prepare your best, probably to answer questions like, writing in an algorithm from scratch, or maybe something like an ML problem and you get asked to build the pipeline for, from data processing to the model to evaluation. So to be honest, you could get asked anything. So, but just prepare your best to answer some coding questions on the ML segments of the interview. Lucy Turker says, thank you so much for this, Eniola. Super useful. Thank you, Lucy. It really gladdens me that you find, the video useful, and thank you for leaving a comment. Bolanrewa says, hi, Eniola. I'm almost done watching all your videos. My new favorite machine learning tech channel. Thank you so much, Bolanrewa. That's a really, really huge compliment. I'm super grateful. Yeah, and I really enjoy making these videos, and I hope to continue to make videos that people like you find useful. And so if you have any suggestions on what things that you'd like to see, please leave them down in the comment below and I'll try my best to make a video on that. Thank you. Vishal says, very informative video. I'm also having an interview coming next month. Thanks for sharing. I hope your interview went well. And yeah, also let me know in the comments below if what stage you're in the process and how the interview went. But yeah, I hope it went well, and I'm glad you found the video helpful. So Celison says, I'm wondering if you solved all your coding questions in your interview. Yeah, I think I solved all of them. There was one coding question where I didn't get to the second question, but I think I gave the interviewer an idea of how I would solve it. Like because I ran out of time, I explained to the interviewer on how I would solve it, if we had more time. Victor Garcia says, today I learned that the Google MLE SWE interview is fierce. Yeah, I think it can be quite intense in terms of like the preparation it takes to, for the interview. But I feel like the actual interview itself, it wasn't, because I was, probably 80% prepared, it wasn't as intense or daunting as I thought it was going to be initially. So I feel like as long as you put in your best and prepare to your best capacity, I feel like you should be good. But yeah, I do agree, FANG interviews can they can be fierce. Chika says, hi Annie, thanks for sharing this great video. I'm considering switching from an engineering background to a career in ML. I would like to talk when you are free. Thank you. Switching from an engineering career to an ML career, it's very doable. I personally did that, so I don't think you would have any problems with doing that. I have a video on my channel. I hope that you probably have seen it, where I list the resources that I use to make my transition. But if you have any further questions, please leave them for me in the comment below. Thank you. Run FinTech says, thanks for sharing, really amazing. What level did you apply for? How long did it take you to prepare? So I go into Google as an L4. Yeah, and it took me about a month to prepare from when I set up the interview dates to the actual interview. Carlos Samuel says, wow, this is inspiring. Currently working on becoming an ML engineer. I'm rooting for you, and I'm sure you're going to become an amazing ML engineer. Yeah, let me know how it goes. I would love to learn more about your journey. Grown Up says, what a video. Kudos to you. Thank you, Grown Up. I'm also preparing to get into the field of machine learning, and after watching your video, my heart is saying to just follow the same steps and you will surely be able to do a good job. So I'm going to follow the same path as you. Just one thing to ask, what is your qualification? How much did it take you? And how much time did it take you to go through the process you mentioned in the video? Also, how many hours of study did you put in daily? Thank you so much for the comment, Grown Up. Yeah, if your heart is saying to, this is something you want to do, definitely follow that, listen to that. Even when things gets challenging, just always remember, why you wanted to start this in the first place. But I think everyone's path would look different. So, my path to ML would look completely different to your path. So my advice would be to follow, your heart and follow your own path. Create your path, right? And the sky is the starting point. Yeah, I'm also rooting for you, and can't wait to hear your update or your progress story. In terms of my qualification, I have a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering, and I have a master's degree in engineering design. I don't have a computer science degree. I don't have an ML degree, so most of my knowledge is from self-studying and gaining industry experience. Booker says, hello, not sure if anyone told you this, but I think you did an insane job with your preparation. Thank you, Booker. How long did it take you to finish your preparation from start to finish? I'm super in awe of how you managed to squeeze time out for preparation. Did you even have time for anything else after studying? Okay, so I feel like I should maybe also give more context. So yes, it did take me a month to prepare for this interview, right? But remember, I had done the interview a year before, and the year before I also prepared. It probably took me more time to prepare that time. So I prepared then, and I had failed it then. So I knew I was going to reapply the next year. So probably on weekends or random days, I just do LeetCode questions here and there. So yeah, even though it took me a month to prepare, when I was interviewing last year, I had prior experience to go into the interview process. I had prepared, aggressively sometime before. So my brain was already primed, for various data structures and algorithms topics. So I wasn't starting from fresh. So I don't want you to look at the month and think, oh my God, she did it in a month. I also have to do it in a month. No, to be honest, let's just say I did it in a year. Because, I was practicing here and there, but I fully, dived into preparation, during that last month. techGuy 5 says, very comprehensive and helpful, Eniola. For ML SWE roles, as opposed to general SWE roles, do you think being able to solve LeetCode mediums is good enough? How many LeetCode problems did you do, and what was the split? Yeah, I definitely think LeetCode mediums are they're worth the bang for your buck. So they give you that really fine balance between it not being too easy, which a lot of these companies wouldn't ask, and not being too hard, such that you waste so much time trying to solve the problem, right? So I feel like medium LeetCode problems also allow you to understand, the data structure or the algorithm that you're using in that question. So I solved around 156 LeetCode problems. 85 of those were mediums, probably 15 were hard, and the rest were easy questions. And a bunch of the medium questions I solved were from this list I found on Blind. I'll put the link in the description below. It's called 75 LeetCode questions. It breaks down questions into various data structures or algorithms topics, and yeah, it was super helpful, and that's kind of what I use as my guide in preparing. Matt says, which programming language did you choose for data structures and algorithms? I did my interview in Python. Guillermo says, hey, would you be able to do a mock-up ML interview with me? I wouldn't be able to do a mock interview with you, Guillermo, but you should definitely, head over to pramp.com. It's free. You can, find a mock interviewer, very quickly, and you can even practice multiple times on the website. So head over to Pramp and you would find really qualified people to help you with your mock interview. Honeydrops says, you are amazing. Your video is very helpful. Did you have any project or previous experience? Thank you so much. Yes, I did have previous project I had worked on. I worked on a website called Similar Business that helps businesses in Canada find similar other B2B businesses that they could market their products and services to them. I also had prior experience at an AI startup and also at a research lab. So yeah, I did have experience, and I also worked on my own personal projects. Convolutionalnn says, can you make a video on how machine learning interview goes on Google? What's the difference with a normal software engineer? Yeah, I think that's an interesting video topic, but on a high level, the difference between an ML SWE interview and a SWE interview is, with SWE interview, most of the interviews are coding interviews in terms of data structures and algorithms. Depending on the level, you could have a design interview, and then you probably have also a googliness interview. But for the ML interview, you also have an additional machine learning focused interview in addition to what you would interview if you were just interviewing for a SWE role. Business Central says, could you make a video on the application process for someone without a degree to join the field? Also, how exactly did you leverage papers with code? And my last question is, as an ML engineer, so you shared all ML resources, but what about software ones? Any tips and advice on how to develop these to become a full stack ML engineer? Making a video on application process for someone. Okay, that's also an interesting idea. But in general, I don't think application process for having a degree and not having a degree should be different. I think all these companies are mostly looking for, they're always looking for talented people that have the right skills. So as long as you have the right skills, I think you should be good. For leveraging papers with code, so for people who don't know, say papers with code is this website that has AI research papers and the accompanying code for that paper. So the authors of the paper usually also upload their code or the research code on GitHub, so you could see how they ran their experiments, how they evaluated the models, and all of that nice stuff. So mostly, if I find a paper I'm interested in, I go to papers with code, I search for the paper, it brings up a bunch of repos, and then I select the repo that probably isn't the language or language or framework that I'm familiar with, and yeah, I just go over the repo, try to run it myself, or try to re-implement myself. So yeah, that's how I use the website. And asking for advice on how to develop software engineering skills to become a full stack ML engineer. I think I'll need to do a longer video on this. In general, my advice, to be a well-rounded ML engineer is to work on building stuff. Whether it's open source, whether it's your own project, or whether it's at work on building stuff, and also work with more senior people so they can help you grow. So yeah, that's all the questions that I have for today. So Like I said, thank you so much, everyone. This has been an amazing journey so far, and like the support and the love I've received has been, unbelievable. Thank you so much. I hope to continue to making useful videos. Yeah, and I wish everyone an amazing day, and see you next time.